Okay. Going on. Hi, this is Gizmo First, and as promised, I am here today with the people developing Server76, and there's quite a few of them. There's more than actually I thought there would be, and we have some groovy nicknames today to call them by. Because we're laughingly trying to keep things secret. It's kind of like that. We've just been talking about it, that they're sure that Bethesda knows that they exist, but they don't care. But we're going to try and kind of believe that, we're going to pretend that they do for a little while. So let me introduce you to Bob. Say hello, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah, we're going to say hello to Dev because it's a Dev dive.
Hello, hello.
We're going to say hello to Roger from the Star Wars prequels.
Good evening.
Okay, and we're going to say hi to Synth.
Hello.
Yeah, and he cut off there with his audio. Yeah, all right. So obviously, for those of you who've been following my channel for a little while, you know that this is kind of like the only thing I've been excited about, like really excited about in Fallout 76 since the beginning of September, was the prospect of possibly, maybe being able to play Nuclear Winter again. And we're going to kind of ask them questions today, and the comment section is already going they're quite nuts. Well, nuts for me and one of my live streams. Damn nerds. Knock on wood about. Okay, all right. There's Roger. There we are. He got the reference. Well done. Thank you, Steve. All right then. So it's going to be a time for, if you're watching this, for you to pitch your questions to the devs. About where they are in development, what they see about the future of this. But I'm going to ask the first one, and let's get this out of the way because I know it's the one that everybody wants to kind of know. Do you have like an idea of when you want to make this available? I know you were planning something for around Christmas, but obviously that got pushed back a little bit. So where are you, and how long do you think you have to go until you think you would be comfortable making it available to everybody? Who's going to answer that first?
Yeah, I guess I'll answer. Although the rest can jump in if they want to.
We're talking to Dev. Yeah.
Yes. Unsure, to be honest. We're basically... We have run into a few snags that we want to fix first. That are causing some issues if you want to, like, say, play cooperatively. Which, for Nuclear Winter, is somewhat, useful.
Well, I'm very good at blowing myself up with the Gore shotgun, so I don't need to play with other people for that.
Yeah, for solo play it works awesomely, but yeah, so we're basically still making sure that quite a few of the weird bugs that we're experiencing at the moment, that those are fleshed out. Probably introduce a few more extra features before we actually really throw the server out into the open and say, hey guys, here, use it.
Okay, you mentioned some extra features. What can you give us some examples at this point about what you'd like to instigate?
Well, at the moment we're primarily fiddling actually with more adventure and survival stuff, but we basically need to get the ESM reading under control so that we can create certain technology so that we can have and generate / spawn AIs on the server so that we can actually properly spawn AIs on the map and that they can actually walk on terrain. The last part is somewhat an issue at the moment, and basically if you spawn anything at the moment, they will walk through cars, walls, terrain. They really do not care.
I've seen that with the Scorch Beast at the moment, which spawns on Nuclear Winter. He can go through houses, mountains, everything. So he'll just follow you everywhere. Is that
yeah?
But that isn't that the fault of is that the reason why in Bethesda, when you play Fallout 76, naturally when you kill a Scorch Beast and you fast travel somewhere else, it will also kind of die in front of you in your new location. Is it connected to that in some way?
So I actually have a thought about that. This is Bob.
Bob.
So the container, which is the dead body, gets kind of like attached to your character.
Okay.
So you become the owner of said container.
So it becomes like a stash box, right?
Right. But it seems like there's something weird going on with the Havoc physics.
Okay.
That causes it to follow you around, because you can travel one place and it'll show up there for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it won't show up there for other people. Like you're the only one who sees it there.
Okay.
It's one of the client-only things.
Okay. Okay. So
Whereas like
go on, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And with Scorched Beast being like the only like real flying enemy, like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of makes sense as to why there are so many weird bugs like that. Like, I mean,
isn't that's like a carried over as well from Skyrim, because I do believe that when you killed a dragon in Skyrim, because I remember reading when Fallout 76 was first introduced that basically they copied and pasted the dragons from Skyrim into Fallout 76 and reintroduced them as Scorch Beasts, right? Just changed the way they looked, but the code was exactly the same.
So the vulture that shows up at Seneca Rocks is actually like what the original Scorched Beast was.
Okay.
So kind of like in the sense of they used a lot of the same pathing and physics data from dragons because dragons flew
Mm-hmm.
for the Scorched Beast because Scorched Beasts fly.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
but like, yeah.
Thank you for answering that. I've been wondering that since I've been, for 10 years since I've been playing Skyrim, actually. But, okay. So in terms of answer, how long are we thinking before it comes out? It's the same question as how long is a piece of string. So that's your answer. Anybody wondering?
Hard to answer.
When it's coming out, it's very difficult to answer, but they do have some obstacles. I've played it, and I know what those obstacles are. One of the biggest ones being trying to kill each other is a pain in the ass at the moment. So, I do have a question here from ExactPeak599 who says, "What are the system requirements to run Server76? I'm a console nerd, but thinking about doing budget PC build once Nuclear Winter, aka Fallout 76, Server 76 is finished." So, are the system requirements going to be the same as the system requirements for the actual game?
To play it, yes. To run the server, no. Sky runs it on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. Pi 3 is somewhat tricky, but a Pi 4 will actually run it just fine.
For now,
but you're talking about running the server without getting now. This is for ExactPeak599. I've played it a little bit, and one of the interesting things I mentioned on the video was the run server without game. So you're talking about being able to actually run a server without. So, for example, if you had a Discord of 50 or so Nuclear Winter fans, and they all wanted to jump into a server together, if you have a Raspberry Pi, you can click the run server without game.
Yes.
Thing, and that will run the server, and it will be no more beneficial than, let's say, an Intel i9 running God knows what kind, RTX 3080 graphics card. It
depends.
Okay, depends on what. Bob?
We haven't gotten to the point of really being able to stress test it because we can only get 1 or 2 people in before it kind of like falls apart.
Get me! I have at least 4 or 5 people who really want to stress test it with you guys. You have to let me know when this is going on, because I've got me, my son, and 3, 4, 5 people from my own little Discord. My little clan that used to run Nuclear. They are all waiting with bated breath for you guys to finish this. So
probably arrange that.
Stress test it. Let's make an appointment and do it. Would I be able to live stream it, or do you think that's too much?
I don't think live stream would be an issue.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, the one of the things that we're having an issue with is the multiplayer aspect, is getting multiple people in the world at the same time and not having it die on us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It is getting better though the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Sky has been focusing very, very hard on trying to fix that.
Okay.
I've been helping on the reversing side and trying to help understand like what the packets are like, what the problem actually is. And Dev's been dealing with the DTLS layer.
Okay.
We don't talk about DTLS.
Yeah.
I don't even know what DTLS is.
I'm almost
hesitant to ask, but what is it?
It is basically the network communication layer of how the game server talks.
Okay.
So you have TCP and UDP. It's DTLS is basically a sort of like HTTPS for UDP.
Yeah.
And that part is like, we've got that working, but what happens is that like after, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something just goes belly up and it just stops working.
When there's more than one person in the world.
Yes.
When
Okay.
there's only one, it lasts quite a long time.
Yeah,
Don't
I've
think
played,
it
I've
has
played
the
an
issue.
adventure a little bit myself, so on your server. But yeah. It's quite stable actually. I've never been kicked out of adventure while playing this. So.
Then you
Yes.
haven't done all the experimental stuff.
No, I definitely. I've
It
seen
is
some of the stuff you guys have
easy.
been like dropping 500, 600 moles, the mole rats and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh no, 16,000.
16,000 mole rats in adventure mode.
I remember when we first got the spawning working for
Okay.
NPCs, and Dev just wrote a thing that just created like cubes of mole rats.
Yes.
People have
First
come
one
here.
was 16 by 16 by 16.
Ah,
and that was,
people have come here to say, oh yeah, how's the dev going? And you hear dropping bloody 16,000 mole rats on adventures. That's great.
it was
I love it.
actually the FPS
Okay.
was actually not that bad.
So it served a
Unless you
purpose then. It wasn't just a load
Yes.
of guys just pissing around on on a server.
The only thing you couldn't do was actually enable the markers.
Could you
Like
kill
if
them
you
all?
mark at that point you couldn't kill them. Now you can.
Okay, lovely. I'd love to kill 16,000 more rats.
We can probably make a video of that.
Oh, please
Yeah.
do. Please do.
I,
I'll put it
I,
out there.
I want to see someone mini nuking 16,000 mole rats.
You know what? Do that.
And all the XP and physics that results from that. I want
Yeah.
to see that.
Do that, and I'll make another because I made a short video of someone killing Ward recently. I'd love to get I'd love to make a short video, 30-second video of nuking 16,000 mole rats. That would be great. I've got
God.
the chat is up here. I just want
Do
to
it, Roger. Do it.
do it. I'm serious. If I can get it out by next week, that'll be gold. I'm serious.
Yeah, nuking, nuclear winter, a lot of that stuff is all Roger. He spends a lot of time on that.
Yes, he's the nuclear winter expert.
All right,
Way
I'm just going to
too
go
much
through
fun.
the chat a little bit because we've got some things coming up. So Stephen, I'm SR dot. I'm imagining that means senior. Yeah. I've got a Pi 4 laying around here somewhere. Please come into the House of Fuzz. We're going to be looking at making some servers when this eventually drops, and your Pi 4 will be very greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I for one can't wait, because getting to the point where we can stress test stuff and have stuff really be playable, that'll be extremely exciting.
Yeah, as long as everybody that comes in knows that they're not, they're not coming in with the mindset, oh, we're going to play like a real kind of nuclear winter thing. They are here to shoot each other, and it will crash because it's a stress test and not like a real game. I don't want people to get pissed off about that. So,
Well,
To be honest, I think they figured it out really quickly when they opened the first loot chest and everything is in there.
I think they figured it out the first time they played Nuclear Winter on a Bethesda server, to be honest. So,
oh god.
yeah.
Hey, that was beta too, so.
I know for 2 years, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got Mikhail Damilov. Hello to the Dev Talk. That's hello back. Yeah, Epic as gamer. Hello. Stephen Senior. Wow, 16,000 mole rats. Yes, a mole rat cube. Meat cubes. Thought this was.
And we can do other mobs too, so it's not like we are limited to mole rats only. So
Oh yeah.
if you want 16,000 wards, that can probably be arranged too.
16,000 wards.
We can do
Oh
a
my
surprising
God.
amount of things. This is really like I've worked on Fallout 76 stuff for a long time now, and this has really like put a lot of the things that have gone wrong with the game into light.
Okay.
Like reasons why, like Mischief Night,
Yeah.
why that was it Mischief Night? Was that the one with the fork in the lawns?
Yeah, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mischief
like
Night was the first Halloween event.
why that was so like laggy, and like they do things like, instead of sending like a one big message of, hey, these are all the things in your camp, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just over and over. So every time new things show up for you, they have to send everything involved with that, instead of like figuring out a way to package it all up into one thing.
Yeah.
So that's why loading into world can take forever on servers that are almost full, with large camps and lots of people.
Sure.
It also explains the budget issues.
I have got at the moment, King Fanman has just finished his live stream and he's trying to get in, so we might be joined by him at the moment. So forgive me while I'm trying to bring him in as well, because he had questions that he also wanted to ask. So we have in the... Oh, hey, King Fanman. Yeah, he just left a message in the chat. I'm here. I'm just going to write him back. I sent you a link to join. Please do. Okay, so spawn Alex SMU in a cube and nuke him. Anti-cheat engine sorted. Okay, that is from a user who is just like 1 million stars. I think that's Bethesda right there. That's a Bethesda representative. Okay,
I can say one thing, that our anti-cheat will actually be a lot better than Bethesda's.
You actually have an anti-cheat. I've asked this question a few times, and at the moment, people have said, like, the people who are, let's say, responsible for the servers will be the anti-cheat. Like, they'll kick people that aren't there, but you will actually have an active anti-cheat.
No, I haven't actually implemented it yet.
There's a plan
there
for
we
it.
go. He's rolling it back now, yeah? Oh, anti-cheat.
It's a plan. It's a plan.
Oh, you got one? No.
Bethesda gives us a lot of like ability. So like they give us a lot of information, kind of.
What was, when Nuclear Winter was... this is the thing that people say about Nuclear Winter, that the hackers killed it, right?
Yes, on PC.
Yeah. So... what would it have taken for Bethesda to implement an anti-cheat? Was it really that difficult for them to do it? Was there a legitimate argument that they just couldn't have done it because of the game engine or whatever?
So when Nuclear Winter first came out, the anti-cheat basically consisted of, we have a blacklist of DLLs. You can't use these DLLs, and like we'll send the top 3 otherwise to the first 3 otherwise to the server, and that's it. That's how bad it was. Okay. It's evolved. Like now there's checks for a lot of different programs, a lot of different overlays and things like that. And now it sends the entire DLL list that is loaded into the game. And it doesn't just send it once, it'll send it periodically, but it's not on a timer. It's on a random call. So it basically checks between 0 and 20,000. And if the number is 20,000, it'll send off the message. So there is a
50-50 chance, because it can also send the other message.
Which is?
Basically, it has 2 types of messages. One is the loaded DLLs, and the other one was I forgot the name of it. Because it confused the hell out of me the first time it happened. It was like, where the hell is this message coming from? Because we never seen it before, because we never hit that RNG.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But they're both basically security checks.
That was not because of hitting RNG. That was something that we were doing at the time that was causing that message to be sent back to us.
But you have a plan to implement... you have a plan or like a vision or an idea how to implement an anti-cheat in Nuclear Winter? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also the fact that like the server just believed the client way too much. So like you could say, I shot this person, and it would say, okay, sure, you shot this person. That's what the OPK was, 1 position kill. It would gather everybody that is rendered for the person in one spot in front of them, and you could just shoot them, no matter where they were.
I remember the deal damage button.
Yeah, so Erectus was the program that was made, that was the big one for a lot of that stuff.
I remember.
And then, like, Erectband just kind of disappeared, and then, like, other teams picked it up, and one of the pickups was Erectus Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on that.
I'm sure you did.
I was
you know
also
what?
one
I
of the.
was going to ask. I was going to ask, but I didn't want to do it. Which of you worked on the Erector's hack?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was okay to ask, but I think we're long enough after it now to kind of say, yeah, okay, it was me. But yeah.
I
Sort of use it as a debugging tool too.
In order for me to work on it, I was like, I'm not gonna work on this unless everybody here agrees that we lock it out for nuclear winter.
Yeah, I remember this. There was a forum,
Yep.
and it was said, okay, you can download this, but now we're making it incompatible with Nuclear Winter. That
Yep.
was probably one of the best, and that was the best gameplay I ever had on Nuclear Winter because people just stopped using it for at least I think it was like 3 months. It was difficult to find a hacker, and then, like you say, it got repurposed. Some other people took it, used it. There was a Russian version of it out for a while. But everybody, because they remembered, where the different buttons were, they could all use it anyway. So
Yeah, like the tools that it had for like adventure were extremely useful. Like the overlay that showed like NPCs.
Yeah.
Like if you would go into an interior, you'd for some reason see NPCs from like other interior cells,
and it would show you where the legendary NPCs were as well. So if you had if you had a daily challenge like kill 10. The 10 legendary NPCs, you could spawn into White Springs and immediately know if there were any legendaries there, and you wouldn't waste your time killing everybody looking for a legendary. Yeah.
And it would also show like meat piles, bags. It would show like all the stuff that can sometimes end up hidden.
Yeah.
It also had like the auto looter, so you could actually like easily like the thing that Bethesda actually implemented. It had it before Bethesda did that.
I'm just getting hello. I'm saying hello to Empress here. She said we need Erectus for Server76. It was fun. Erectorver76 is her proposed name. Erectorver76.
I mean,
but Empress, in her defense, Empress is all about the erect. So there we are. I've known her for some time. So.
But for the anti-cheat that we want to implement, those will be server-side things, and will be things like line of sight.
Nice.
The one position kill will not work. We will actually check the positions between each player, and if there's a wall in between, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
To be honest, I think we're gonna add a flag to the settings that basically, if somebody tries that the bullet will actually ricochet right back into his face.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would love that.
So it will
Maybe
be better,
change
it will be better than just kicking them from the server if they cheat. They'll literally get a bullet to the face.
Yeah. I think that would work very well.
That would be really cool. I would love to see that. I think there'd be a load of YouTube videos coming up with that on as well. That'd be cool.
But a lot of things we do want to make sure that there's settings. It's like if some admins don't want it, they want it basically as pure as vanilla as possible. That should be allowed.
I think as well there was. I think Sky mentioned, wouldn't it be cool if they had a server? You could start a server and promote it as hackers only server. And have everybody running around hacking and doing stuff. Whoever was, this would be like a wet dream for coders and stuff like that. Who can make the best hack?
Yes, and then we store all that data and then apply it as the anti-cheat.
Yeah.
This whole thing actually gives me an idea because like we're gonna end up having to have like a client launcher.
Yeah.
And we can actually implement some actual client-side anti-cheat in that client launcher.
I don't want to give you too many ideas because we need to get this thing released at some point. So
to-do list growing.
We have the list is growing indeed. The user who I suspect being from Bethesda Game Studios, who just has a bunch of stars, said Erectus69. There we are. What about kill with? I don't know what. Okay, Mikhail Dornilov says, "What about kill with grenade launcher?" I'm assuming he's writing English as a second language. What do you think? Will Bethesda implement server mode support in the future? Is it possible, or are they just lazy?
I'm not expecting it.
No,
they've got too much invested in like the Atom Shop and like their proprietary server stuff, and also they don't want anybody to see how bad the server is, or probably is, most likely is.
Basically guaranteed.
My theory right now is that the server is just a client without like the UI
Uh-huh.
and some extra functions, because that's what everything seems to be in the client. Like almost everything that we've done has been based upon what the client does. So like there are things in there for like connecting to multiple peers, which makes no sense in a client to server application.
Okay.
So
I think I would even make it worse if next week it leaks that the server basically for Fallout 76 was actually a Skyrim Together server that they just renamed.
That would
That
be
wouldn't surprise
hilarious.
me.
Okay.
uh,
King Fanman is sorry, just gonna get you there. We're gonna try and get King Fanman. Oh, he's in the chat. Hello.
He in the chat.
Can
I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, we can. Hello, King. Sorry, mate. I didn't notice because I've got a few windows open here. Now I can close one of them because I was trying to track you down. So
No, I was enjoying listening to y'all.
no, you know, I'm just hoping. Are you streaming this or not?
No, because my internet's going crazy. No.
Yeah, I heard that you had some problems this evening. So
Yeah, it cut out right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I heard. Well, I was watching you stream as well. I just like I heard this thing. Now this is going to be the answer. Sorry, if I'm just going to take the focus off the Server 76 guys a little bit. You said Bethesda has announced the project, and the project is going to be, and then you were cut off by the internet, and everybody was like, the Chinese have got you. So
Yeah.
can you spoil that for us? What is the new project?
Yeah, Wormwood is the name of it. Of course, I'm sure that's just a placeholder. We don't know what it is, but it's tied back to an IP they already have. So some think it's either tied to Fallout or Dishonored.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So that's you know, for you guys who are good at hacking into stuff from Bethesda, that's your next mission. Find out what Wormwood is.
What Wormwood is.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are good at hacking into Bethesda.
Oh, of course not. I would never. I would never.
No,
even,
no.
I would never suggest that in the least. Of course.
we do know it's most likely not Fallout 5 because they've already like said that that's going to be a thing.
But this week, you know, I know that King Fanman's covered this. By the way, King Fanman's link to his channel is in my description below, so please click over there and subscribe to him right away if you haven't already.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
It's Wormwood. So Wormwood being a key component of Absinthe. Absinthe works like Nuka-Shine. Fallout 77 confirmed. Got it.
Fallout
There you go.
77 confirmed. Oh gosh.
Well, and you know, wormwood, the actual word comes from the Bible. It's an apocalyptic thing as well. It's the comet that comes down in Revelation.
It could be Fallout then. It could be something
Yeah.
connected. But I mean, you know,
Fallout 1 remastered.
There you go.
well, you know what? If it was 3D, I would actually dig that. If they remade Fallout 1, like with the story and everything, in terms of, you know, keep everything faithful to the original story, but like completely redo it in the 3D. You know what we've come to expect from Fallout. I think I'd be actually for that. I think that would be great.
Well, you know,
Yeah, I would play it.
Jeff Grubb came out this week and said there's rumors of Obsidian and Microsoft already talking about a Fallout spinoff, maybe a New Vegas 2 or something of the like.
Yeah, I've seen you've covered that this week about the like the very early talks for New Vegas 2. I've also seen some other YouTube videos that say that it's all talk, but I don't think anybody knows. People are just guessing at this point whether it's talk or whether it's serious. I think if they've released a statement, it's at least half serious. I mean, it might just be someone had a coffee in Starbucks one day and New Vegas 2 was just mentioned in passing, and then they just said, "Oh yeah, let's just put this up on the internet and see what happens." You know, and if there's enough people talking about it, then we'll treat it seriously. So I kind of think that's where they're at the moment. So.
Do you mind if I ask a couple of things about Server 76?
I was hoping you would actually. Yeah, go for
Awesome.
it. Yeah,
and y'all may have covered a little bit of this, but just bear with me because I missed the first part. And I know everybody wants to know a timetable, but when I ask about what is the timetable for this, are y'all looking at like putting it out in stages, or are you wanting to put out the complete thing? In other words, are you wanting to get Nuclear Winter done and then work on something else, or are you wanting to put out the whole thing at once?
No, this will be an iterative output, so we'll bring out versions.
Okay.
I mean, there's a good chance that like when it does, like our first release is probably going to actually like have a decently working adventure, then a decently working Nuclear Winter because of Roger. because that's all he does is nuclear winter.
Oh, I love Roger already. Roger, you're my favorite, man.
So we may see like the cut content down the line after.
Oh,
We've already brought content in.
yeah, I think Roger
Oh,
hasn't
man.
posted that to the screenshots yet, I think. But there's definitely some cut content.
That's so awesome.
Or maybe even what you would call re-imported content.
Reinvent.
It's
Don't
exciting
try and
what
use
you
an
can
auto act, it
do
doesn't work.
with Xedit.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you as well because King. I did an interview with King, and all I could do is tell him what you told me. But let's get it straight from the horse's mouth. Can you? Because he asked me to, and I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Can you tell us what what missions and what quest lines are going to be reintegrated to Adventure, which were always rumored to be, but never got put in the game. Because he wanted, I think I mentioned one, the president for a day thing. I mentioned that one, but I couldn't remember any of the others. I know I knew them, but can you guys take over on that and just tell him what you've actually got planned for that?
Well, there is the original Reclamation Day. That was like a celebratory thing outside the vault, but it's actually just like a bunch of ghouls standing there waiting for you to walk out of the vault. You were supposed to get a 10mm pistol in the vault on your way out, but it's disabled. It's still in the game. It's still in the cell. It's just hidden. It's disabled, so you can't see it. So like that could be an optional thing that's enabled. I'm trying to think of other things. Like
At this point, we
But
have
there also was the cut quest at the fort, no?
Oh yeah, the Civil War thing at the fort.
yeah,
That would be
the
awesome.
war that never was.
Yeah.
And laser muskets. I think we need laser
Yep.
muskets back.
Yep. Well, I mean, laser muskets in the game do work. I had a bunch of them.
we're gonna have
At one
lasers.
point,
I
I
really
gotta
want
have
a
precedent.
laser musket.
You know,
Those were great.
I cannot see King Fan the Man's video right now, but I'm sure he's his eyes are like popping out of their
Yeah,
sockets
they're
right
huge. Well, I have a question. Since y'all have looked at some of this, can you see a reason why they cut some of this? I mean, is it bad content? Is it harmful to the game? Why would they cut some of this stuff?
well, the auto axe was cut because it doesn't work.
Okay.
That's
Haven't
why
seen
it's
that.
like it's been in the game. Okay, it's been in the game since the the Wastelanders PTS.
Right.
It's been in there since then, and it hasn't been touched. It was originally available. You could get it in the PTS for a very short amount of time, and then it wasn't. And now it's going to be coming in, what was it, fall, summer, something like that, as one of like the new rewards things, because it's literally the icon.
Yeah.
And like they're along with that, like at some point they're doing a rebalance of like automatic melee weapons, so like they won't be sucky anymore.
now. Yeah.
That's not a
like,
guarantee, by the way.
okay, theoretically, that's their total plan at least. But I know that President for a Day was cut because of a few things. Like they couldn't figure out like how to get it working in a manner that would make sense in the grand scheme of things. The original Reclamation Day thing, I'm not sure. I think maybe it might have just been too much for a new player. Like just walk out of the vault and oh look, there's this massive amount of ghouls in my face.
Right.
But like that would have been a cool thing for like a hardcore mode or like or like the 1 year anniversary, like have everybody be able to create like an extra character, like a 6 slot that's only there for like a day, so they could all experience that kind of thing. But some stuff just didn't work. There's a random radio.
All the doors at White Spring that have the handprints
handprint
on
on
them.
it. Yeah, what's the story
There's
behind
nothing
that?
behind them.
There's
There's
nothing
nothing behind them. Nope.
Nothing behind it.
Nope. There are a lot of things like that where it's set up so like they just reuse the handprint access or the keycard access where it just doesn't do anything because they didn't assign it to anything. But there was the whole cut quest line inside of White Springs with the rooms, where you were supposed to get room keys and go to different rooms in White Springs, and there would be I don't remember exactly what was there. I think it was like either going to be corpses or I can actually check real quick.
I think Roger was busy with, or has been busy, because that's probably a year ago, about actually moving certain rooms back into the White Springs during load, because they were shifted out of basically,
Yeah,
the
there's
world.
White Springs rooms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, or 201, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that are part of a quest called Room Service,
No way.
which would have been so.
Was it a daily quest, or was it just like was it tied into one of the storylines?
It looks like it's just a cut enclave quest.
Okay.
ENZ09. The EN is usually like enclave, so like EN07 is I am become death.
I guess I was asking because some of them, like the Civil War battle thing, some of those, why couldn't they bring in for everybody always screaming, we need more content, we need more content. It's already sitting there. Why can't they?
Why can't they
Do
switch it
something
on?
with it.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just time constraint, voice acting not available, stuff
Well,
like that.
let them contact me. I'll do all their voices for them. I can do
Yeah.
a
Hey,
myriad of accents.
no, I've got the country accent. I can be West Virginia, right?
Yeah, and I
I
can be.
know my
Can you do a
Arkansas, but
smooth
come on.
overseer voice?
I
There's a
could,
good
I could
portion.
probably, I could probably do quite a menacing Zax, but I'm not sure I can get it quite down. So yeah.
So
And, one actually thing is there's also a cut quest in Watoga.
Okay.
And
Say more.
For as far as I know, that one is almost feature complete, but needs a new fix here and there. And
which quest was it?
I forgot the name of it. I would have to look it up. It was a cut quest in Watoga area.
Well,
Okay.
when you look it up and you let us know, I'm just going to go through the comment section here. It looks like Roger's getting his own fan club, by the way.
Finally, someone with the guts to help.
Okay, and y'all don't hate me because I'm being very simple minded here. When this gets out and everything, is there gonna be any cost to the player themselves setting up their own server and that kind of thing?
I mean, that depends on like how they want to set it up. Like if they want to set up a server for like that's constantly online, like they probably have to like either have a separate computer set up already that's always online for anybody to use, or like buy server space. But like for someone who just wants to spin up a server, hop into the world and get some friends to join them, like they could most likely do it on the computer they have.
Yep.
Right
Gotcha.
now.
Like 5
Um,
to 10 minutes.
So-
We're doing that as testing, basically.
So if you want to
Yeah.
maintain your buildings, if you want to do stuff like that, you possibly have to put down money to maintain a server on your own.
If you basically play for yourself or with just a few friends, and you want to maintain your own buildings, if you host your own server, those buildings are going to stay.
So when you log
Yeah.
out and you log back in, those buildings will still be. I
Yeah,
know they're not at
yeah.
the moment because nothing is savable in Adventure. I know that already. I played it and lost everything.
a little bit is saving right now.
Yeah.
We
okay.
save the currently in position parts of the inventory,
Mhm.
basically mostly for testing purposes.
I need to
But
download the new build
considering
and
we
see what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually save like the position you're standing in.
Oh,
So if you log back in, you're right back at where you logged out.
so it's not to the nearest fast travel
No.
point then. Okay, that's cool.
No. We basically just for now, because it's easier to actually run to a certain location that you're testing,
Of course.
log out, log back in, and actually test it again. Because for me, at least, I'm probably booting Fallout like 20, 30 times to fix certain things.
I've opened the game like 3 times in the past 2 months.
I tell but I tell you what, I've got to tell you, the dedication you guys have shown is amazing. I tell you what, it's a new level for me. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you guys survive. So
Well, we can tell. Me and Gizmo were talking about this. We can tell it comes from
from a good
people
place.
that love the game. Yeah, y'all love the game and want it to be right.
Yeah.
I've been doing more reverse engineering on the game in the past 2 years than I have actually done playing the game.
Mm.
Like,
Well, I haven't logged in for live for like 2 years.
I've logged into
Wow.
live like 3 times, but not actually joined the world in like the past 6 months.
I have a good question here, and it's coming from the Epicest Gamer. What's possible with modding? Would I be able to add new features to the game? I hear some giggles coming. That he's hit.
Yes.
The plan is yes.
The plan.
Yes.
We have been able to do stuff with that using just creating new ESMs with additional content. But like,
I want Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
that
I want the Death
could be a
Star.
doable
I want the
thing.
Death Star as a moon and stormtroopers instead of ghouls. So
Oh, should we drop what we actually tested like yesterday?
Oh yes, please.
oh, please do. Yeah.
Oh, that was exciting.
If you've got any, if you've
I
got
don't
any
remember what that
video,
was. I don't pay
if
attention.
you've got any video of it, send it to me, and I can possibly even show it on the live stream. If you've got any video of anything crazy,
We
you've
have
done,
a video of that. Yeah,
send it to me
do.
on Priv, and I'll see if I can put it on the live stream. Hold on.
It is a certain vault.
Oh yes.
That people might know when they've played, like,
While you're
4.
while you're sending this to me, I have a question from Steven Senior. Can I play on PC and run the server on it at the same time? I'm not quite sure what is.
Yes.
That is the main mode for using the server, especially as a single player adventure server.
And I can say that because I was playing and running the server while I was in nuclear winter with my son 2 days ago, trying to kill each other to no avail. Okay,
my general thought process with like how we do this is get it as close to how it's supposed to work as possible, and then like do all the other stuff we want to do from there.
That's pretty much Bethesda's philosophy as well.
So like my thought is, separate things out. So like if somebody wants to host a server farm, or like say like 6 people in a server all have places they can host their own world servers, like have like one of them host the centralized login account information server, and then all of the other servers can just link up to that, and then it can distribute people like the game is supposed to do. But that's way down the line. That's that's quite a ways away.
Well, let's get it working first. I'm actually one of you has just sent me because I've got people in the chat saying show, so I'm just going to see if I can get this showing right. I'm going to turn off my camera right here just for a minute. One moment. Video captured. Yeah, okay. So let's see what he sent me. Wise Mothman 2 start. Let's go. Vault 111. Join.
We all get silent as we watch.
What can I say? It's exciting.
This is Dodge.
It is.
I've lost contact with the uplinks in this area. I'm trusting you to get that resolved. Listen, get the busted signal repeater working before proceeding. Head there first.
Oh, Vault 111, okay.
By the way, the Wise Mothman's not even in the game anymore there. He's so bugged out, normally he don't even show up.
No, he shows up, but he's floating above the
Yes,
the lighthouse.
sometimes he's not even there.
To access him.
Yeah.
Alright, so that was that. Alright, so I'm sure they're going to send me some more as the evening goes. Well, hold on. Dev has just sent me something.
Yeah, it's the same, basically.
Alright, so I'm just going to have a look at that. One moment. So they're recreating Vault 111, right? So
Yeah.
Well, it's more of a test.
Yeah,
See
I think
if we can actually import.
but that
Custom
is a good answer to the question that they said, can I mod it and can I do my stuff? So the short answer is yes. If you want to recreate, Vault 111 or the Death Star or your mom's cafeteria, you can do it, right? So
That's awesome.
I think regarding Thomas the Tank Engine, that the
Thomas
8 ball
the Tank,
says yes.
can we make the fat controller a thing? That's the thing I want to know.
If somebody mods it, yeah.
Okay, can we skin Grom as being the fat controller? Because I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. There's no point to it, but I just think it would be great.
But like initially, like ESM mods and like adding things like assets are easy. It's the scripting part that we are still like in the way early planning stages.
Yes.
So like you'll be able to do stuff like change character models, add new characters, weapons, and stuff like that, as long as they're not too complicated.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but I mean, do you see?
It's basically building stuff for the server itself to tell the server, hey, when this happens, do this. That still needs a scripting engine, and we need to make it in such a way that modders actually be able to easily write stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to modding and stuff, how will people make their mods available? Will it be kind of
drop it at the server? It will be synced to the clients.
Okay,
Yep.
so there's not going to be Nexus mod support for this, I would imagine.
I hope so.
maybe eventually,
okay.
like
Yeah, there could be Nexus eventually, but I don't. I doubt it any soon.
Nexus can basically just drop the mod files like straight into a certain directory on the server, and that it can take it up. It already worked. Sorry, because it's not actually implemented in the latest version. But BA2 files were automatically picked up and actually sent to the client.
Okay.
Which will be returning in a later version again, because we used the chat mod from, which I shall not name, but we used the chat mod that a lot of people used for Fallout 76 as our command console for a while.
Yep.
Excellent.
About how many of you guys are working on this?
Almost everyone in this Discord channel, and plus one, because he's not here.
Yep.
Awesome.
So if you're in
and
a
we do
Discord
have
channel, you've got a count of how many people are there, right? So
we've got probably like 12 to 13 people who also are just kind of like consultants for different things.
Yes.
So like we have somebody to help with like the BA2 processing code, or we have somebody who is working on some ESM parsing stuff, and we have somebody who's just interested in the reversing part, and so on and so forth.
cool. I have a question from ExactPeak599 talking about vaults. Are the V raids in Server 76 both the I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. Both the 94 one and the discontinued 63 ? One. I'm not quite sure what that's about, to be honest.
So, well, none of that's in there yet. Like, so in order to do that, we need to be able to process the scripts and understand like what they're trying to do with the scripts.
Okay.
And then we have to like a lot of this is going to be trial and error on finding people who did vault raids, having them run tests for us as we iterate on getting these scripts working, and then we'll have a script set up that will be able to run, the Vault 94 vault raid. But that's also quite a bit down the line.
Mikhail Domikov, Vault 63 has an empty entry room. Can you expand on that a little bit?
So actually, if you clip into the Vault 63 world space in Fallout 76 currently, which I managed to do once with a bugged exit entrance.
Of course you did.
It was literally just like randomly, I couldn't leave the room.
Okay.
But yeah, I jumped on top of the roof, and the Vault 63 entrance is literally just an empty vault leading to nowhere, which is what they're talking about.
Do you know what they're planning to do with Vault 63? Is there any code in there which gives you a clue why it's there?
Most likely they're going to do like what they did with 94. What were they? 94 and 96? Probably going to be like the same kind of treatment where they're going to make Vault 63 another daily ops location as well as explorable in the world, because there was a bunch of information from the original like Vault 63 quest that they had set up.
ExactPeak599, thanks you for your answer. I don't know how much you have access to what's coming up. Do you know anything about the pit?
Cool. Besides the already existing half-baked.
Yeah, besides a few
interior
like
cells.
very early on test cells that we've looked at, we don't really have any information about the pit.
The
And
test cells
that's
that got us on PC Gamer.
yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
I haven't.
I know
I
that was a
haven't
kind of a
looked much lately.
curveball. I apologize for that. So, we're supposed to be sticking to Server 76, but it just came to me, and it's so late that I don't really have a filter in my brain anymore. So, I apologize for the question. I hope I haven't burnt any bridges there. So, yeah. I don't know. I would really like to ask everybody who's in the chat just to give a few words of encouragement to the guys, because it's pretty much a thankless effort, right, to do this. You're not expecting fame and fortune. It's just seriously a passion project by a group of people who love Fallout 76 and know it can be more than what it is. So if you can drop if anybody can drop a few words of encouragement to the guys who have been working on, some of these guys have been working on this for over 2 years now. Like one of them, I think Bob said he's been working on he's been logging into Server 76 to check errors more than he's actually played the game. So this is kind of, above and beyond the Call of Duty here. So if anyone can drop in some words of encouragement, that'd be great.
Most of what I do is understanding like how the client itself works. So I've been doing that for a long time. When I started playing in February, like after it launched, after the game launched, and I was like, oh, well, this, the reason I didn't play it before is I really didn't play Fallout games, and I believed all the bad press about it, and I was like, all right, well, this doesn't seem like it's worth it.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine at the time was like, hey, come play with me, and they gave me the game, and I'm like, all right, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So I get in, and I get hooked on it because it's, it's Fallout, and
Yeah.
but then I started like hitting bug after bug after bug, and I'm like, why is it so bad? And then I just started like looking into it, and then I realized that it uses the same ESM type thing that Fallout 4 used, so I found a program to read it, and then everything just kind of went from there. I actually have I used to work on a World of Warcraft private server core, Trinity Core.
Okay.
So like that's where I get my private server and reversing experience stuff from. But when I showed up, like a lot of the work, a massive amount of the work is Dev. Like
Oh, shucks.
when I showed up, it was to the point where we needed a private key, where that was basically like the thing that was blocking, and like all the other networking stuff, all the API stuff was all basically already set up. It was just like once we got that point, then we could actually start figuring out what was going on after. And then I showed up and we figured out the key, and it was really stupid. Like it was one of those every single one of us laughed and kind of like facepalmed moments.
If you get stuck on literally a number change, that was it. And we got stuck on that for a month.
But it sounds like you guys have kind of formed. I'm not even going to ask how you all found each other, but I guess 2 years has kind of formed like a deep kind of bond. I don't want to get all sentimental here, but some kind of a friendship and comradeship going forward. And it sounds like kind of what will you do when it's finished kind of thing. Are we all going to go our separate ways? It's almost like, a little bit of a tight-knit family kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure I got here accidentally.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, if I didn't join the server and join development, I don't think how I interact with people and what friends I have today would be even remotely similar to the friends I do have today.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was basically all of this started with a Reddit post, because I got annoyed with Fallout 76 and I was like, why can't we build our own? And that was the 24th of October in 2019. And I started working on it, and people started replying on it. Not a lot, actually. Even now, there's only, if I look back at that post, there's 27 comments on it, and that's it. It's currently in the void of a subreddit. Never to be seen again, probably. But that is where, person came from, who's currently in this channel. Another one came because we actually were looking for. That was actually Sky, who basically joined because of us integrating another team where he was part of into our little club because we were further ahead, and they were doing the same thing, except the main developer of their team never showed up. It was an odd situation.
I'm pretty sure the main developer of that team did show up. They just had to do some other things and went largely inactive.
I'll tell you
at
what,
the moment, we're the only one, I think, that has actually got a working server.
I haven't heard of anybody else, and I have checked it out. Actually, I have been doing some Google searching recently. Server76 does come up, but it's still not actually quite widely known. I remember, because I'm here, like the House of Fuzz is my, let's say, the home of my YouTube channels, and the link is in the description below, of course. And that is where I hope eventually we're going to set up some servers to play Nuclear Winter and some different stuff together. But not a lot of people even know about Server76 and anything. I'm sure somebody somewhere is making some effort to make a server, but no one has got as far as I'm aware as you guys. So it's great.
It's hell to do.
And that's why, I'm sure. Okay, I said some words of encouragement. So the person who I suspect as being from BSG, who has like just stars, a few words of encouragement he wrote, and that was it. Another person, the Steven Senior, a few words. Michał Domilov, wish you luck on your progress and to have less troubles and more luck. Right. Exact Peak 599. Really appreciate what you guys are doing. You're not just restoring it to its former glory, but expanding it to be better than it ever was under Bethesda. If that's not encouraging, I don't know what is. Steven Senior, you guys are awesome, and we are waiting with bated breath for your project to be done. Yes, we are. So let's say, that project, how long is a piece of string? Let it be as short as possible. Empress, I'm willing to pay for Server76, and I want a refund for Fallout 76. If she starts saying stuff like that, you're going to get the wrong kind of attention, I'm sure.
No pay.
You need Fallout 76 to play.
Yes, and that is what Mikhail Dominov said. Empress, you need Fallout 76 to play, and she knows that. Don't ask me how she knows, but she's a personal friend, and she knows. Steven Senior, can I pre-order? I love that.
Well, for people who are privy to our Discord, they have nightly builds available, so they can actually play this every day.
Attempt to play it.
Attempt. Attempt is a better word.
I've attempted to play it.
I guess.
Yeah, I was going to ask that for us that are on the outside. Is there going to be a alpha or beta test where we can get involved with it?
Yes.
I'm expecting once we get the multiplayer thing fixed, that'll probably be about the point. Like,
as long as it doesn't start kicking random people every 5 minutes, then we're good to go.
Well, that would be no different than when it was under Bethesda, so I don't think anyone's going to mind.
I was about to say the game's doing that right now, so
The two major milestones that I'm looking forward to are ESM reading and multiplayer, for sure.
Yeah.
The ESM reading will work eventually.
Well, let me put it this way. I hope that these guys will remember me when they start testing, and they'll invite me in. And if that becomes successful, King, I will walk you through how to install this, and we will get you on the test as well, mate. And we'll both live stream it, and we'll have a heck of a time. So
awesome, that will be great.
Yeah.
One upside too, Nuclear Winter is far enough along that once multiplayer works correctly, you should be able to play an entire match beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I never lasted to the end.
Without any AI, though.
No AI.
Maybe a Portuguese.
For me, you don't have to make it to go to the end.
I was never any good at Nuclear Winter.
I was
Yeah.
never any good at it,
That's
but
my
I
Rogers
really
here.
loved it. It was kind. I think when I look today at my friends list, most of those friends are from my Nuclear Winter days. Even a couple of them are in the chat now. You know, that's
Nuclear Winter, it brought me here. I had a mutual friend with Bob who I would play Nuclear Winter with occasionally, and I would just run into the issues like, why is this so broken? So it eventually turned into coming over here, and once we were finally able to get in world, you can ask I ran with it. All right, I'm in Vault 51. All right, how do we get the Nuclear Winter messages set up? And really, I went nuts.
Oh, nuclear winter components. That clock.
That clock is stupid.
I spawned in with my kid the other day, and he almost had tears in his eyes when he heard Zach's light up at the start, and he was like, you know. There's something about the odds, and you're not going to survive this, but he just loved it. It was amazing to see. You know, my 14-year-old kid. It was such. I think Nuclear Winter was such a big part of people's lives during the pandemic as well. It was kind of, for me, it was the only place I could actually meet friends because we're all locked indoors, and my son kind of hopped onto that as well. So it means something more than just a computer game for me. So yeah, the fact that you guys are bringing it back is epic. So
I just saw a really interesting comment in chat. What do you think about console support? Any ideas how to get old client or?
Yeah, please answer. A few people have asked me that, so yeah.
That's tricky.
That's a good
Old
first
client?
reaction.
So theoretically, using so you'd probably have to set something up in either your router or like have like a man in the middle type of thing to like redirect packets, at least initially, to the correct place. But when it comes to like getting older clients, I have no idea if how like possible that'll even be.
Is it not? Is it not a possibility to make it cross-platform in some way?
Unless you have to get that version, specific version, onto the console.
Yeah.
Because each Fallout version has basically every message that it sends to the server has a type of structure. There's certain values that it expects in a certain order, and Bethesda loves to change that on every version that they've made.
Or reorder the message type numbers, or the component type numbers, or remove components or messages that they were using, or add ones in their place.
Because I also understand that Bethesda doesn't really want to do cross-platform as well, right? It's been a big thing since it first released.
They could.
Yeah.
They could. They really could.
Yeah.
But they definitely don't want to. It's too much of an effort to get the friends list stuff synced up.
Mm-hmm. And Sony's resistance to it is a perfect excuse for them not to do it. So yeah, I understand.
When Bethesda's owned by Microsoft, then there will be a lot more resistance.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think people thought that the acquisition would mean good things for Fallout 76. I had alarm bells going off right from the start. So that's a subject for a different video.
To be fair, things have improved, like compared to like all the time where they weren't owned by Microsoft. There's a lot of really, really terrible decisions, like letting game-breaking bugs go for months.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's still game-breaking bugs that I think still happen. I don't know. I haven't been in there in months. Does the fast travel bug still happen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, that's been in there for a long time. But the problem with that is it's more than one issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's really, really hard for them to track that down. That's why it hasn't been fixed.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, how long was like the random power armor losses?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they finally fixed it, they're just like, okay, everybody's gonna go to a train station, and here's all your power armor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was such a mess. Oh, that was a mess.
Yeah, like, or like, even now, like on PC, like the hacks that are happening, like the ability to that people have probably seen, where you can just, like at Fastnaut, there was a bunch of like NPCs spawning that weren't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bethesda knows about it. They know why it happens. Like it's basically people obtaining an item that goes into your misc tab that is the reference to that NPC. So like whenever an NPC spawns in the world, they get a unique number assigned to them, and that spawn is a reference that points to that specific NPC information, along with an instance, a set of instance data for that specific spawn.
Hmm.
And when you get that item, you actually have like all of that information attached to it from the server, which it's not technically an item. Anything that doesn't fit into any of the other tabs falls under the misc tab. But if you put it in a display, it shows the NPC, and they're attackable and everything. That's why, you log off, you log back on, boop, it shows back up, even if it's already dead.
So the short version is 3 years on, we're still fighting bugs in a game that should have them eliminated by now. Absolutely.
Yep. And it's all
good thing
because
is
Bethesda believes the client too much.
Oh.
Yeah, that is basically the biggest thing, and something that I've learned very quickly during this whole endeavor is basically Fallout 76 is Fallout 4 with networks tacked on.
Yeah.
And basically what they did is they ripped everything out, like just how the world is built up, and basically made it so that it would just ask the server for that. But any action done on the client, some things would just be okayed by the client and sent to the server like, oh, hey, I've done this. Not actually awaiting a response on that.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff could be corrected by the server, but if that message, like, say, didn't arrive, like what we had like right in the beginning with the grenade bugs, that you could just infinitely grab grenades from the strings. That's just messages from the server never arriving at the client anymore, saying, "Hey, remove this."
Mm. Exact. Sorry, continue.
So a lot of bugs we can sort of fix.
Okay. It would be great to see you get the game to a better position than it actually is under Bethesda. That would just be,
a lot of bugs will be so hard to fix because of how it was actually set up, though.
Yeah, because it's I can imagine. But people in the chat, we've gone far past that part of the chat now. But they said, why don't Bethesda hire you all? It would be a lot more. It would be a lot simpler, and I echo that.
Applied 5 times.
You are sorry?
I have applied there 5 different times.
Seriously?
Yeah. And I never heard a word from them.
Oh, well, you should send them your portfolio. Send them Server76.
Oh, trust me, they know exactly who I am.
Bethesda, get Bob a job.
Okay,
Hey,
we're going to hashtag this right now. Give Bob a job.
Keep applying. Everybody's leaving right now.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? They don't have anybody working on Fallout 76 really now. They've got a skeleton crew.
Skeleton crew, yeah.
Everybody's either in Starfield or I don't know elsewhere. I don't know, or
Most of the
resigned out
original
of frustration.
Most of the original team for 76 has moved to Starfield, but it's more than just a skeleton crew on 76 right now. But like Ferret, for example, Ferret's working on Starfield. Nate left,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff left. I'm trying to think, like, because I actually met Ferret, Jeff, and Nate.
Okay.
At Bethesda Game Days right before the pandemic happened.
Okay.
Long talks with all 3 of them. Well, with 2 of them. Jeff had other stuff he had to do, so we talked for like 10 minutes. But
well, that is pretty long for a developer, I've got to tell you. So, can you tell us what those talks were about, or was it just about the weather, or something more specific?
Well, yeah. So the talks with Jeff were more of me being introduced, and then like, this is so and so who you've heard about a bunch of times from like all these different people, and we had like a talk about like the state of the game and like being in the PTS and like the excitement for the Wastelanders and like the bugs that are still there, and like that was at the point where he had to leave. I talked with Perkypile about just a bunch of like the lighting rework stuff that he had done for Wastelanders, and just like his general like thought process on stuff. And then I just had a long talk with Ferret about like stuff in the game, stuff in the PTS quests, you know, issues that I found. And it was he enlightened me to a lot of things. Like the reason that things did not get fixed like they were supposed to for so long was because of the fact that while you have the project leads and you have these different leads of different groups of developers, the quest designers and the artists and stuff like that, none of them get the ability to say, this is what we're doing right now. They go, this is what we want to do. And then management goes, okay, well, this is not what we deem important. And so that was why there were a lot of things that just got ignored for so long.
Well, this is the kind of thing that's going on in corporate America in general, right? I mean, we see this in Hollywood a lot. Films being being scuttled because the directors want to do one thing and the executives who pay for it, let's say no, this doesn't fit the narrative, so we're going to do something else. Disney and Star Wars come to mind. And
6 months later, you get a Snyder's cut.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Snyder cut was much, it wasn't perfect, but it was so much better than what we got with Whedon.
Well, wasn't that the whole thing because Snyder had to leave the project, not because he like
Snyder's daughter committed suicide halfway through production.
That was sad.
And that was tragic. But the sad thing was in terms of his career that Warner Brothers wasn't willing to wait for him to come back.
Yep. Which that is just a shitty move.
It is really, really out.
I don't care how big your corporation is. You don't do that.
No,
that's money talking over emotion.
That is absolutely, and they could have waited a year, even at that point, and got a much better movie from it. Because what Whedon did with the franchise kind of killed it dead in its tracks. And now, even if they wanted to pick up from the Snyder Cut and go forward with it, they couldn't do it because Joss Whedon would just take them to court over what he'd find a way, basically. His story being ousted and Snyder's being put. It's something that no lawyer, no corporation wants to be a part of, and no lawyer. Every single lawyer would just be waiting to take a part of. So. It's just not going to happen. But it was a really, really underhanded move. But this is the same thing with Fallout 76, right? There's you've got people who are creative. They have a vision. They want to achieve something. This was Nuclear Winter as well. I've got to tell you, Nuclear Winter was very unique. Everybody says it was a Fortnite clone. It was a PUBG clone. No, it wasn't. It took those elements and elevated them and put them very, very nicely into the Fallout universe in terms of perk cards. It was one of the only, at that point in time, now other BR games are doing it, but it was generally the idea behind Battle Royale was that everybody spawns in equally. But in Fallout 76, you had an aim to go. You had the perk cards, you had the different things that were going on. You only had a team of 4 modes, so you had to find 4 people to play with. You'd have your medic, you'd have your hacker, you'd have your... I'm not talking about hacker with the Erectus, I'm talking about people who could hack terminals. And you had your heavy tank. You had to get people together and complement the people who worked together as a team were generally the people who came out on top. It was something I had never seen in a Battle Royale game. I love the Battle Royale concept in theory, but I hate Fortnite because of the building. PUBG was PUBG, and Fallout, but Fallout 76 kind of brought these elements together, and it had so much potential because it was made through people who had so much love for the game and for the lore at the same time. But executives just didn't keep up with it. They didn't maintain it. They didn't add anything to it. It was in beta.
I was about to say, I have a huge question on this since we're just generally talking. Nuclear Winter brought a lot of new people into the game.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They updated it one time. They brought one new map to Nuclear Winter. That's it. One.
Yep.
And then they said they're doing away with it to dedicate the people to new content. Well, that didn't happen. Why did they take it away? I mean, was it hard to maintain? What's the deal? Was it because of hacking? Why did they take it away?
Too hard to maintain. Hacking on PC was too much, and Worlds.
Yeah.
So they reuse the server space that they were using for Nuclear Winter for the world hosting.
Because that went really well for them, right?
Yeah.
No.
They literally could have just like implemented Nuclear Winter as part of Worlds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why not? But the thing is, this is the thing, when they introduce Worlds, their first move, someone asked them the question, okay, so if I've got a private world, are you planning to increase that amount of 8 people I can have on my server to, let's say, 24? And they said no, and they went on record and said no, there are currently no plans to have more people on private servers. So even if you wanted to make, even not a Nuclear Winter server, maybe you want to make a PvP server and get, 8 people in a server is not a PvP server. I'm sorry. You know. So this was just complete and total. Yeah, and we've got people in the comments coming up, the Nuclear Winter was the best BR. Nuclear Winter goated. I don't even know. Probably is autocorrect going goated BR.
Goated is like some new lingo that people use.
Greatest of all time.
I'm 40 plus, so there we go. It's a possibility that
somebody called Elvis a goat the other day, and I had to look it up. So yeah.
You can tell me after we're finished. You know what, King, if you can stay behind for 2 minutes after we finish this, I'd love to chat with you for 2 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Is it a possibility that they remove Nuclear Winter as an easy fix for Nuclear Winter weapons? ExactSpeak 599 says.
Well, if they actually, removed them from the ESM, maybe, but they don't do that for anything ever, because why would they do that?
They never remove anything. As far as I'm aware, last interview I did with you guys, you said, Mischief Knight is still there.
Yep.
So they never remove anything.
It's even worse stuff.
The ESM
is still there.
5.1 million records. When I started playing, it was just above 4.
I think the main issue with removing records is that it can pretty easily cause save corruption, which is a thing, like, even if you go to Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 modding, a lot of modders advise do not remove mods in the middle of a playthrough, because it has a pretty high chance of fucking up your save.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
when
the ESM
Bethesda
currently still has references to vampires.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. There's tons of unused stuff from Fallout 4 that's still in there. Like stuff that has never ever been referenced anywhere in the ESM. It's just sitting there as a random out of place record. Like, there's a lot of stuff like that. You could probably cut about a third of the ESM out.
Most of the items from Nuka World are sitting there.
Okay, we're going into code territory now, so you can bounce that around between yourselves. King, Fan, have you got any more questions yourself to these guys? You came in here. Sorry, we couldn't wait for you earlier. I know you had your problem with your internet connection on your
No.
So.
I apologize, and I appreciate y'all letting me be a part of this. And I apologize I didn't get y'all on my channel. I would like to get y'all on my channel at some point. I apologize I didn't get y'all on there tonight, but thank y'all for letting me be a part of this chat tonight.
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty. I think this is only like the second interview I've done total out of like the 2 years that I've been around.
Well, I've got to tell you, this guy's channel is the channel you want to be on, because mine is very kind of small. His is much larger, and you'll get to a much larger group of people. So
but we do like to stay, partially under the radar.
But my channel is the place to be in that case.
The thing is that we kept
under the radar.
Basically, we tried to keep under the radar for like the last 2 years, because we think we know Bethesda might know about us, but they haven't took any action whatsoever, and we'd like to keep it that way. We don't want this project to get killed before it actually,
as long as you stay off the radar in terms of a physical address, I think you'll be okay. So
we're not like we're not looking for money for any of this. A lot of this is just a passion project. A lot of it is learning. Like, I mean, I am constantly sitting here reversing the game every single day because that's just what I enjoy doing, and I'm learning more and more about how it works and why everything is so shitty.
Yeah.
There's the occasional step too that we take also where, for example, Atomic Shop, not even on the radar. Or if you notice when you go into Vault 51 now, the Atomic Shop kiosk is gone and it's replaced with a chest that contains some apparel type items to wear. Basically so that we don't create the perception that we're trying to compete with that revenue stream that they have.
Sure.
Yeah.
That will also not be enabled when we actually launch the Atomic Shop, like on the main menu. Is not something that we'll enable. We might enable a few things that are like easily unlockable in game already. Like if you're a Fallout first member and you get the scrapper and stuff like that, the salvager, whatever that thing's called, we might enable that because that's just a quality of life thing.
Well, clothes would be nice to have on. Because at the moment, when I spawn in the vault in Adventure, I'm naked. You know.
Oh yeah, but just click. If you actually go to the survival mode and you start in the vault, you can actually click on the 2 washing machines to get clothes.
Oh, that's great. And I might stream a fist fight to the death and survive. Can we damage each other? Can we damage each other in survival mode yet?
Well, we can't. We still have problems with like the multiplayer aspect, even getting people to stay in the world. So,
well, that could be interesting to live stream.
It's
just to see
also
how
a
it
way of
comes out.
damaging people.
I'll push him off a cliff. It will damage him. Yeah.
The only stuff from the Atom Shop that I could see possibly being in there is like stuff that's nuclear winter rewards, because there's no money really to be made off of that. You just
Here's a question for you: can you make your own? Could you, as the Server76 creative team, make your own rewards to be obtained for playing Nuclear Winter?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't see why not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we could easily create. So we have all the tools now to create new models. So we have, we have the NIF scope that has been fixed by somebody, to be able to save for Fallout 76. There's still a couple issues with it, but it mostly works. There's, Xedit, which can create ESMs for it. There's, we can create scripts that the client can read, but the server kit doesn't do anything with them yet. We can create textures and materials and
5-star weapons.
Yeah, we can we can do stuff like that pretty easily.
4-star legendaries are off the roadmap for this year, so I'm sure people will welcome 5-star.
Well, I mean, with the current way legendary effects work, like the current legendary effects that are in this version of the game, the 5th-star stuff is not super useful.
I'm sure.
And a lot of the 4th-star stuff also isn't useful. There's a bunch of disarmed stuff.
Well, from what they had in the PTS, it was pretty much the same in Bethesda's version as well. So, yeah.
But
we can go up to 8. I think it was 8 stars.
8 stars.
I'm not. I don't believe the client will accept that. I know it only shows up to 5.
Okay.
But we can have mods that create new legendary effects based upon, the abilities already existing in the game.
Well, that'll be out there for the modding community as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so basically whenever, you get these modders doing this kind of thing, they will run their own Discord server and they will say, you need to download this or this version of the server, and then you'll be able to play. So let's say that someone makes a map in the bog region of Appalachia for Nuclear Winter. Anybody who wants to play that is going to need to download it, right? So anybody who's running a server on Discord, let's say, give it, they have 10 people coming to Discord and everybody has to download that version of Server76 because that is the version. No? Okay.
No.
Tell me how that's going to work.
Basically, you will have your launcher. So that's the first thing as a user, as a player, what you'll have. The server is, someone is hosting that somewhere and he or she puts the mod on their server. The client will connect to that, and that's all you need. The launcher will make sure it's in sync before starting Fallout. and then you got the mod.
Oh wow!
once you stop playing, it will remove the mod.
Else because I heard something. Okay, so things have developed since that time then. Because I was
that's
told
well, that's the idea of what's going to happen.
Yes.
Basically, we're going to
Since
use the
modding
same
is
API layer we already have.
That is a lot more convenient than what I was led to believe before. That's awesome. Yeah. That's really great. That's really good.
It's one of the benefits of running like our own client launcher is we can do a lot of things that on the client side where we normally wouldn't be able to. We can even patch the client, which we do for certain things.
Okay.
Like the game folder for like the My Games folder, we patch that to be Server76 instead of Fallout 76. That way it doesn't interact with the
existing ini
existing
files.
like that way you can have the game installed alongside the live game.
Okay. I've got a couple of questions coming up on the chat here. I'm sure some of you are following it too. Is there going to be a ghillie suit from Stephen Senior? And
I think we already have it.
You have it in the actual. Okay, that's cool. That's really
I think
good.
it's in the washing machine.
Is it really? But you're going to be able to have the ghillie suit in Nuclear Winter?
It's in the vault. It's in the chest in the vault right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, from Michal Dormilov, what do you think about survival only having 1 star working on legendary? Is that going to be? Are you going to expand on that? I've got to be honest with you. When I first started playing, I thought about going into survival mode, but I was really low level. By the time I was ready to go into survival mode, they cut it. So I don't know anything about survival, what was available or what wasn't. So what do you think about survival only having 1 star working on legendary? Are you going to be able to have 3-star legendaries in survival?
I must say I'm sort of with you. I haven't really played survival.
Okay.
I actually played a lot of it. We can do that.
That is a Bob question. There we go.
It's a lot of it is just making some ESM modifications, because you can actually have certain things enabled or disabled based upon the game mode. There's a condition function for it, so we can just be like, if it's survival, disable this.
Okay, Epicus Gamer says, I've seen hinted a White Spring map for Nuclear Winter. He's probably referring to a video I posted where some of you sent me someone spawning into a White Spring map. There's been a few clips of that floating around where you've been trying to escape the Ring of Fire at White Springs. So what about new maps when it comes to Nuclear Winter? Is it just going to be anybody can create a map, or have you got some maps that are pre-designed that you are going to release, with Nuclear Winter when it comes out?
Go ahead, Roger. That's yours.
That's a Roger. And this was from Empress, and she's your greatest fan right now. So you be nice to her. So there we go.
Excellent. Really, we could do a Nuclear Winter map at any existing point in Adventure. It's literally a workshop object that we drop down at the center of the circle to create what's going to be your match area. The challenge is going to be getting the loot objects into places that are meaningful. Dropping your orange crates somewhere that makes sense, putting your briefcases somewhere that makes sense, power armor, bobbleheads, magazines. So technically, yes, we could do as many maps as there's space in Appalachia to allow us to do it. It's just going to be that initial figuring out how do we want to place the objects. We could try and do them randomly, which might turn out a little disastrous, or potentially do some work to have us or someone else run through and figure out good placement for each of the loot objects.
Watoga, Nuclear Winter.
Oh yes, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, everybody's wanting Watoga for ages. And I feel like you've just answered the question of TeamFatGuy.com. Will there be Nuclear Winter maps? So I believe that answers that question. Yeah, there's definitely potential for it. But let's get the base game running first. ExactPig599, who has a lot of questions this evening. Question for the devs: favorite Nuclear Winter map, including Server76 ones, the ones that you guys have theorized that or played on.
White Springs.
Well, that and Watoga.
Watoga. Okay, Watoga. White
I have
Springs.
no idea. I
Watoga
rarely played
does
Nuclear Winter in the
sound-
first place.
Bob, I tell you what,
sounds
Bob,
pretty
we are
exciting.
going to get Bob into a Nuclear Winter match the first day this thing drops. Bob is coming into Nuclear Winter.
Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, we're going to
And immediately get nuked because everyone's got a nuke case. So.
Yeah, you know what? I am not going to be comfortable playing with any of you because you're going to know where all the nuke cases are, where all the chests are.
Actually, we probably won't.
Oh, come
mean,
on.
It's all random
All the
spawns.
Yeah, all the spawns
Random
like that
spawns,
are
my
basically gonna be
arse.
set up.
Yeah.
We actually implemented the same RNG system that Fallout 76 used.
Okay.
This was due to basically Bob telling me that I had to do it. And I then spent 2.5 days implementing it and then complaining about it because it didn't really work very well. And then for more occasional fixes around that, but now we actually have a implementation of what they call a Mersenne twister, which is used for pretty much everything in Fallout.
Nice.
So
Well,
we should not ever know exactly where everything is spawned.
I'll tell you what, me, Empress, and Just Bigos and Kostek will team up against you guys, and we might have a chance then. And in that spirit, Empress says, hell yes, new map is something I've been waiting for 2 years. Yes, we were all waiting for a new map in Nuclear Winter, which never came. I think I remember live streaming with Jito, or Jet, as some people know him, and he was sure that they were not going to cut Nuclear Winter because why would they? And I think 3 months later they cut it. I predicted they were going to do it because we hadn't seen anything new in it for a year. So I cannot tell you how much joy this kind of fills me with. That maybe one day there's a possibility I'll get to run Nuclear Winter again with some of my favorite players, Empress among them. King Fanman, have you got any more questions you want to pose to these group of people before we lose them into the mists of time for at least the next couple of months?
I have a lot of questions swirling around my head, but as far as tonight, they've answered most of mine tonight. I would love to talk to them again, like I said, though.
Yeah. I think to finalize, I think we can sort of the estimate of basically when we can do a more public release, basically just really slap it onto a few YouTube channels or at our own Reddit channel. I'm guessing that within 2 months we should have a
awesome.
Oh, that's great.
pre-release public.
Nice.
It might not work fully, and it will probably lack quite a few things, but it will be something that people can play with.
So
that's great news.
I am going to go out on a limb then, and I'm going to say, in 2 months we're going to kind of get together a similar time as we did today on a weekend at some point. A few of us, we're going to try and get together. I know that King Fanman knows a few YouTubers. I know a couple. Try and get all those guys.
I know quite a few.
I know you do as well, yeah. So we're going to try and get as many
we need a stress test of 52 people.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and... I've got 8 that I know that are willing to try. So we're going to get... Empress is going to be in as well. I know she is. So we're going to get those people together in 2 months' time. We're going to live stream as much as we can and have... I'll take King Fanman through how to install it as well. And we're going to try and do a big kind of public test weekend. What do you say, guys?
I'm up for it.
Exciting.
That's awesome. That sounds great.
That's our first deadline.
So let's put it then, the 27th of April.
Just say this, Gizmo. You were never meant to be Overseer, quite literally.
Yeah. No pressure, guys. No pressure.
Yeah. Well, I find this in real... Okay, I think I'm just looking at the calendar now. 23rd of April will put us 2 months in. Let's put 23rd of April, the deadline for the big live online test of... Let's put it as Nuclear Winter for now, because that's what a lot of people are waiting for in terms of, because we can all play Adventure at the moment anyway. But let's have a look at the big first test of Nuclear Winter. It could be survival if people wanted survival more, and within those 2 months, we'll kind of liaise what you think is more ready to showcase. But by the 23rd of April, to have something ready for all of my guys from the Brotherhood of Wood, from and from the House of Fuzz, and for King Fanman from his own Discord, because I know he's got people there who love Nuclear Winter. Maybe we can try and get a full server going on Nuclear Winter to stress test that server. What do you think?
I just posted it on our Discord, so we'll do it.
Yeah. What do you think, King?
That sounds great to me.
Let's put it out there then.
I'm not putting any pressure on the guys, but yes, that sounds great to me.
Pressure is all good, man. Come on, pressure is what makes the world go round.
Sounds like I got to get all the weapon mods working by then.
Yeah, so Roger, Roger, you're going to have your own fan club between now and then. People are going crazy
We'll
in the
figure
chat
out what's
for
wrong
you
with
today, man. So
All
Hey,
the
so
object
spawns and all the great
placements, weapons, all the damage calculations.
yeah, no pressure, but you've got 2 months. Yeah. So anybody in the chat, put it on the 23rd of April is going to be the first big stress test of Nuclear Winter at midnight CET time. I think that's 5:30 your time, yeah, King?
Yes.
Okay, so we're all going to dive in and shoot the crap out of each other. Yeah, if anybody wants to keep up with that deadline, I'm going to be liaising with Dr. Fuzzy. Some of you know who he is. Come into the House of Fuzz or go into King Fanman's server. His channel link is in my description in this film below. So go over there, subscribe to him, and get into his Discord as well. I'm sure he's going to be posting as we approach the deadline. He's going to be posting about news updates, how you can download and run Server 76 as well. We're going to chat a little bit after this today, so yeah.
The probably a week before the 23rd, we'll start releasing basically some more information that people can actually download it, make sure their system is prepared.
That'll be great.
Because you still, and also it's only for people who have the Steam release of Fallout 76.
Absolutely.
If you have it,
I mean,
if you currently have it via the Bethesda launcher, there's absolutely no chance that you can use it.
At the
Well,
but
Hey, April, that'll be
I
everybody.
was about to say April.
April
take
won't
it
matter.
away,
Everybody,
King
yeah.
Fanman. You know the news. King Fanman, take it away.
Well, they're supposed to switch in April, so we don't know what time in April, but surely by the 23rd, everybody will be switched over. We
As
hope.
far as I know, at the beginning of April, everybody will be playing on Steam. So that's going to be...
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember when Wasteland was supposed to come out in November of 2019?
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, but I think other things are pushing that along other than Bethesda's own schedule. So I think at the beginning of April, we will all be on Steam. I haven't been sure of many things when it comes to Fallout 76, but that's one thing I'm pretty sure of.
Yeah. Any account that has a Steam account will will automatically get the ability to download it.
Yep.
And from what I read, you'll still be able to like log into Mule accounts like through the exe like normal.
Yeah. That'd be
As long
great.
as you don't attach it to a Steam account.
We'll be releasing details about how to get access to Server 76 as time goes on. I will, of course, be covering it on my channel as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so as it is. It is now 2 a.m. in the morning for me. It is way past my bedtime. So I am going to pretty much say thank you, everybody who's been very active in the chat today. You've had really great questions. I am sure before April 23rd, we might get another dev dive in. I've had fun this evening. I hope you all have too. Bob, Deviant, King, Fanman, Roger, Synth. Would you be up for doing something else in about a month's time? Just chatting about it and seeing where we are?
Yeah, I'm up to it.
Excited.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get a couple more content creators with more questions in as well. That would be cool.
Yeah, let's put some stuff out. So me and King will talk about that, I'm sure. Can you stay behind 5 minutes, King, after so we can chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
See if you can find Todd. Invite him too. He might have some questions.
I wouldn't put it past King to actually do that. So you shouldn't put stuff
I
out
can
there.
send him a message if you want me to.
Oh, Howard, we invite you to play Nuclear Winter with us.
He will be target number one. I can tell you
It
that.
just works.
It will.
Just works.
I'm sure it will by that time.
Post in the chat the weapon I'll be using in Nuclear Winter. Just 1 second.
Okay.
We'll get old Pete to play with us.
Oh, that would be freaking awesome! I tell you.
Laser muskets for everyone.
Okay, so
Hell yeah.
I'm just going to go through the chat just before we finish. Looking forward to it. Love to stream with you guys. I'm ready. That's Joe Dark, who also has a YouTube channel. So go over there and check him out, of course. So, Empress, great. In 2 months, I'm going to take a vacation. Empress, you know where we are, right? You know me. So, private message me and we'll get together on Server76 beforehand. Someone is drunk, I think, because I can't understand that comment. So, from Stephen Senior, come on, that dog, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's basically how that reads. Michal Donilov, splendid.
It's getting late. It's getting late, you know.
It is. Well, I don't know where he is, to be honest with you, so it could be early for him either way. Have a good night and see you. I think that is a very nice last comment from Mikhail Domilov. Yes, I think that's really good. This is Gizmo First. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, then go over to King Fanman and do the same for him, and we'll catch you later. In 1 month we might do another dev dive, but we'll definitely keep you informed one way or another, whether a dev dive or a video that I create, how you can get in on April 23rd. Write it down in your calendars. That is the date that we're all putting now for Roger to finish this thing. Thank you very much. This is Gizmo First, and I'll catch you later. Thanks, guys. We're off.